She may have lost the election, but that doesn't mean Hillary Clinton's email scandal is going away anytime soon. The president of a conservative watchdog group that went after the former Secretary of State tells the Washington Times that, quote, nothing has been settled, and they may seek other documents, including messages Clinton exchanged with President Obama from her secret account. In the meantime, Democrats on Congressman Chaffetz's Oversight Committee calling for him to investigate any possible conflicts of interest that President-elect Donald Trump may have with his business dealings. In a letter, Democrats on the committee writing, quote, you have stated publicly that you will hold Mr. Trump to the same standards as President Obama and Secretary Clinton, and you have not taken steps to conduct basic oversight of these unprecedented challenges. Americans across the country have flooded our committee's offices with thousands of calls in strong support of the investigation, jamming our phone lines with more calls than we have ever received in response to any other issue. So, Congressman, let me start with that part. What do you have to say about all that?
Well, you know, the Democrats find themselves in a difficult position because they never thought they were going to lose this election and certainly lose it at this level. And I love that they've suddenly found this deep desire and principle of openness and transparency and the need to have documentation where have they been for the last 8 years while this administration's been there. Nevertheless, Donald Trump has not yet taken office. He hasn't been sworn in. He did provide a financial disclosure that you can go online and look at all of these financial interests that he has. That's out there as public record. But he just named in the last couple of days who's going to be his general counsel. He's trying to fill out a cabinet. When we get to January 20th and he's sworn in and he is the president of the United States, things are different than while he is now still a private citizen.
He does have a big and very complicated business in 35 different countries. You know, having his children at the helm of it, I mean, it presents a big challenge in terms of transparency, in terms of making sure that you don't even have, I mean, set aside what legally may or may not be there. You just don't want to be dogged by scandal the way the Clintons were. So how would you suggest he deal with that?
Well, he's got to comply with the law and rights. Priebus, the incoming chief of staff, has said that the Trumps will be in full compliance of everything that's required.
It's more than that.
Give him a chance. He hasn't even been sworn in yet. So it's pretty hard to criticize him or suggest that there should be an investigation by Congress when the guy hasn't even been sworn in yet. It kind of Democrats are kind of showing their hand saying, oh, this is what we're going to accuse him of when he hasn't even been sworn in yet.
Okay, listen. I agree with you that he hasn't been sworn in yet, and so I don't really care until something happens. Hillary Clinton I care a lot about. Obviously, is she just going to get off scot-free? I loved Lock Her Up. It's one of the things that Donald Trump said that every time it came on TV, I was like, lock her up! Yes, I loved it. He said he's not going to go forward with an investigation.
Which upset you.
I didn't like it. Is she going to get away scot-free for everything?
Well, remember, Congress, they don't give us handcuffs, and the prosecution is left to the executive branch. But there's still a lot we need to learn. Remember, State Department has 14,900 documents that they have not yet given to Congress, plus tens of thousands of additional documents. You have issues that the FBI has not commented whether they're doing an investigation or not doing an investigation of the Clinton Foundation. You have
based on the Fox News reporting, they're investigating the Clinton Foundation, and they have the Cheryl Mills and the aides' laptops that weren't destroyed.
We have a lot of other things that are still moving parts out there. This was never a politically motivated investigation, and just because there's been a political election does not mean that we stop doing what we were doing. We have a duty and an obligation to provide oversight. That's our constitutional responsibility, and it's bigger and broader than just Hillary Clinton. There are still, the State Department still has its own open investigation into security clearances. Absolutely. So, of course, we're going to continue to look at it. Of course we are.
As well, you should. I agree with that. But here's the other thing. As you said, it's the House Oversight Committee, right? So not the House Oversight Committee of the Democrats or the Republicans. So if indeed something was to come about that raised suspicion to your committee, would you be comfortable looking at that from a President Trump?
Oh, absolutely. Look, as chairman of the Oversight Committee, I have a duty and an obligation to provide oversight. My job is not to be a cheerleader for the president. And if the administration steps over the line, of course we're going to go after that. There's always somebody doing something stupid somewhere. And there's 2 million federal employees. Most of them are good, hard-working, decent, patriotic people. But when they step over the line and they do something stupid, yes, we're going to go look at it and we're going to get to the truth and reveal it, and hopefully in a bipartisan way.
Final question. You're right, he hasn't been sworn in yet. He can't have done anything wrong around that yet. But is there a way that Donald Trump can get in front of this? Kind of to Melissa's point around the appearance of impropriety that you would recommend.
He is getting in front of it. He's got some days, some weeks. Go ahead.
Well, just the fact that it's had so much exposure, I think they, hey, look, when you're the president of the United States, every single move, every single thing is going to be criticized. A lot of people are saying, well, there should be a blind trust. Well, my understanding, at least to the information I saw, Barack Obama doesn't have a blind trust. So, let's understand. There's a Congressional Research Service has done some history on this, and then there are laws on the books, and so we'll let it play itself
There
out.
will be a corporate structure that satisfies everybody, even legally. The transition team is well aware of that.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll see. Looking forward.